Hi friends, welcome to Code Practicing. In this video, we will practice how to create a new instance, a new EC2 instance with a new security group, new keypairs. We will check different ways to connect your EC2 instance. We will then turn our newly created EC2 instance to a web server. And after we are done with our tutorial, we will terminate our EC2 instance. So first, what is EC2? EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. Compute refers to server or a server resources that are being presented as a application server, web server, database server, game server, or mail server, or catalog servers, file server, computing server, proxy server, etc. Cloud. Cloud refers to this. All are cloud hosted compute resources. What is Elastic? Elastic refers to a servers that can be increased or decreased automatically as per the demand of the applications. In short, Elastic refers to a resizable compute capacity in the cloud. So for this tutorial, we will log into our AWS console, choose a region, launch a EC2 wizard, select an AMI software which will provide software platform for our instance. Select instance type. This refers to our hardware capabilities. Configure network, configure storage, then configure keypairs. This will allow us to connect to our EC2 instance. Launch and connect to EC2 instance, then turn EC2 instance to a web server. And finally, we will terminate the EC2 instance. So first, we will log into our AWS console. Here I have already logged into my AWS console. So and I have to choose a region for our EC2 instance to be hosted. So I have selected is EC2 US East 1, and now we'll go to our EC2 dashboard. So we'll go by clicking on services. We will find EC2 under compute section. Click on EC2. Currently, I don't have any EC2 instance. As you can see, all values are 0. So now we will launch our EC2 instance by clicking on launch instance. First step is choose an Amazon machine image, AMI. And AMI is a template that contains the software configuration, operating system, application servers, and applications required to launch your instance. For this tutorial, we will go with Amazon Linux 2 AMI, which is a free tier eligible. So click on select. Second step is choose an instance type. Amazon EC2 provides a wide selection of instances optimized to fit different use cases. Instances are virtual servers that can run applications. They have varying combination of CPU, memory, storage, and network capacity, and give you the flexibility to choose the appropriate mix of resources for your application. You can filter the instance by clicking on filter drop down here. For this tutorial, we will go with the T2 Micro, which is a free tier eligible. And now click on configure instance detail. Third step is configure instance detail. Configure the instance to suit your requirements. You can launch multiple instances from the same AMI. you can request spot instance to take advantage of the lower pricing, and you can assign an access management role to the instance and more. Now we'll start with it. Number of instances, you can give any number of here, but for this tutorial we'll go with the one. Purchasing option, request spot instance. You have the option to request spot instance and specify the maximum price you are willing to pay per instance. Are spot price often are significantly lower than the on-demand prices, so using spot instance for flexible interruption tolerant application can lower your instance cost by up to 90%. For this tutorial, we are not setting a spot instance. Next is the network part. We will keep default VPC, subnet, no preference, auto assign public IP enabled, placement group do not select, capacity reservation, domain join directory, IAM role will keep all as default. Next is the shutdown behavior. Specify the instance behavior when the OS level shutdowns is performed. It will stop or terminate. We'll select stop. Next is stop hibernate behavior. Next is enable termination protection. You can protect instance from being accidentally terminated. Once enabled, you won't be able to terminate this instance by API or the AWS management console until the termination protection has been disabled. We will enable for this tutorial and we will check how it works at the end of this video. Next is the monitoring part. Monitor, collect, and analyze instance metrics through the Amazon CloudWatch. The default is free basic monitoring where data is available in 5 minutes period. You can enable detailed monitoring where data is available in 1 minute period. We will not enable this as the detailed monitoring is not under the free tier. Next is the tenancy part. The shared tenant, we will select shared tenancy. Next is elastic inference, credit specification, file system, advanced detail. We will keep all default. We have only enabled our termination protection for this for our EC2 instance. So now click on add storage. Your instance will be launched with the storage configuration mentioned here. You can attach additional ABS volume and instance store volume to your instance or edit the setting of your root volume. For the root volume, we have option to select for general purpose, provisional IOPS, and magnetic volume type. If we add more volume, we will get more option for volume types that are general purpose SSD, provisional IOPS SSD, cold HDD, throughput optimized HDD, and magnetic volume types. By default, deletion protection is on for a root volume only. It means when you terminate the instance, the root volume will be deleted automatically. But for the additional volume, deletion termination is not enabled automatically, though you can enable it. AWS provides an option to encrypt both the root volume and additional volume to be encrypted while creating an EC2 instance. But for this tutorial, we will launch our instance with the root volume only. So next, click on next, add tag. AWS gives the encrypted IDs to our EC2 instance, which is human unreadable. So we will give our instance a name by adding a name tag. We'll give a name for instance EC2 demo. Now click on configure security group. A security group is a set of firewall rules that control the traffic of your instance. On this page, you can add rules to allow specific traffic to reach your instance. For example, if you want to set up a web server and allow internet traffic to reach your instance, add rules that allow unrestricted access to HTTP and HTTPS ports. For this tutorial, we will create a new security group. We'll give a name to a security group. It is EC2 SSH and HTTP. 22 port is open to the world. I will add one more, as we are creating a instance for, and we'll turn that into a web server. So this is required. We had added SSH and HTTP. That's why I had given the security name as security group name as EC2 SSH and HTTP. With this 0000000 is SSH is open to the world, but it is not recommended to keep 00 for the SSH. But for this tutorial, we will keep this and click on review and launch. AWS gives the warning to improve the security group, as we have given SSH as 000. That's why checks all the detail of your instance. Then click on launch instance. Select an existing key pair or create a new key pair. We will create a new key pair. We'll give a name to a key pair, EC2 demo key pair. Click on download key pair. You have to download the private key before you can continue. This key pair is required to connect to your EC2 instance using SSH. Now click on launch instance. Yes, your instance is being launched. Is launching. View. This is an ID given by AWS to our EC2 instance. Now click on view launch log. It's successful. Now click on your instance. The instance state is in pending state. It will take some time to be available. Yes, now it's running. You can check the detail of your instance by clicking on it. Yes, it had given the public DNS, public IP address. Okay. Now our instance is created and is running. We will check, is it available for us or not? No, the site is not reachable. So now we will connect to a newly created instance. There are different ways to connect your EC2 instance. That is first using terminal, second using Chrome extension, or by clicking the connect button. The connect button is an easiest way to connect to your EC2 instance. So we'll connect our EC2 instance using this button. Click on connect, EC2 instance connect, and username EC2 minus user, and then click on connect. It will open a console in a new tab. Yes, now it's connected to our EC2 instance. Look, EC2 minus user IP address, this. Okay, this is our EC2 instance. So type sudo super user. Now you are now a super user, means the root. It will change the user to the root user. It will give you an administrative access to your EC2 instance. So we have seen how to connect our EC2 instance from AWS console by clicking on connect button. Now, second method, we will see how to connect EC2 instance using Chrome extension. So go to Google, search SSH, Chrome extension, click on secure shell app, and install. I already have installed, so we will launch app. I already have the connection over here, so I will delete this and create a new user, new connection. So a username, type EC2 user, and our public instance, public IP address is this one. Copy and paste here, and SSH relay server identity. Import your key pair here. Click on import. This is the key we have downloaded. So EC2 user. Okay. Now click on enter or connect. Yes. Yes. Now we have connected to our EC2 instance from using Chrome extension. Okay. So type sudo user. Now you have the administrator of your EC2 instance. Okay. Now we have seen how to connect to our EC2 instance using a connect button from AWS console, and second using Chrome extension. Okay. Now we'll make our EC2 instance a web server. So for that, we will connect to our EC2 instance. We will use the easiest way to connect our EC2 instance by clicking on connect button, then click on connect. Okay, type sudo su. Okay, we will update our instance by typing yum -y it will go and install, it will upgrade, it will look for the operating system update. Sorry, it will take some time to update our operating system. Okay, it's incompleted. Now we will install Apache on our EC2 instance. So type yum install httpd -y. It will install Apache on our EC2 instance. Apache will turn our EC2 instance to a web server. So now type cd where html www.html. Now we will create a file in HTML directory. So type nano index.html. Yeah, now HTML join hello world h1 close the HTML tag. Now hit Control plus X, hit yes, enter. Now you have created a new file. Type ls. This the index HTML file is created. Type. Now we will start our web server. Type service http start. It will start our HTTPD server. Type chk on. It will start a server on a boot. Now we have turned our instance to a web server. Now we will test our web server is working or not by visiting our website in the browser. So we'll go and refresh our site. Yes, this is working. Yes. So till now we have created EC2 instance, check different ways to connect EC2 instance, and now we have turned our EC2 instance to a web server that is open to the world. Now we will terminate our EC2 instance as we are done, as we don't want to be charged, as we had created EC2 instance for this tutorial only. So to terminate the EC2 instance, we'll go to our instance, click on instance, and go to instance state, then click on terminate instance. Terminate instance. Are you sure you want to terminate the instance? Click on terminate. It will give you an error saying fail to terminate an instance. modify its disable API termination instance attribute and try again. This is because we have enabled termination protection of our EC2 instance while creating EC2 instance. So to terminate our EC2 instance, we have to first disable termination protection. For that, go to Action, drop-down menu, then Instance Setting, and click on Change Termination Protection and disable it. Click on Save. Now our termination protection is disabled. For our instance, now we can delete our instance. Click on instance state and terminate instance. Now click on terminate. Your EC2 instance state will be updated to shutting down, and after some time it will be terminated. So now let's check the root volume of our EC2 instance. Is it deleted after termination of our EC2 instance or not? To check that, go to Elastic Block Store and click on volumes. It is not terminated yet. Okay, we'll wait for some time. Yes. It is not completely terminated. That's why we have our volume. Yes, now our root volume is when deleted after termination of our EC2 instance. That's why this is because we have the delete on terminate is enabled while creating our EC2 instance while adding storage to it. So in this video, we have seen how to create EC2 instance, how to create a security group for your EC2 instance with a new key pair. We have seen different ways to connect our EC2 instance using terminal, using a Chrome app, and using a easiest way by clicking on connect button. We have turned our EC2 instance to a web server by installing Apache server on it. That server only on it that serves newly created index.html page in which we have written hello world. And after we have done for this tutorial, we have terminated our EC2 instance after disabling termination protection of our EC2 instance. So thank you. That's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching this video. Hope it helps you. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.